Welcome, everyone. Today is Tuesday, September 12th, 2023, and this is a regular meeting of the City of Asbury Park Zoning Board of Adjustment. Chairman Avalone, will you please call this meeting to order?
Yes, of course. This meeting is being held in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the Coaster and Asbury Park Press by publication of the annual meeting notice and posted on the municipal bulletin board and municipal website. All notices are on file with the board's secretary. Official action may be taken on the following matters before this board. Fire exits are located on the east and west sides of the council chambers as well as the back of the building. I ask everyone with a cell phone to please mute their device for the duration of this meeting, and this meeting is being recorded by APTV. Roll call, please.
Wendy Glassman? Here. Daniel Harris? Okay, Russell Lewis?
Here.
Jill Potter? Here. Tim Slick?
Here.
Jose Alcaraz?
Here.
Vice Chair John Scully?
Here.
And Chairman Christopher Avalone.
Here. All right, so we just have one quick resolution to approve. I'll make the motion to adopt the 115-117 Atkins Avenue Interfaith Neighbors Resolution.
I'll second. I'll second.
Wendy Glassman?
No,
I can't vote.
when
That's what she was.
you use the resolution, I always have the eligible members.
Yeah, that's what it was. 1 second. Okay. Daniel Harris, who is currently absent. Chairman Avalone.
Yes.
Jill Potter.
Yes.
John Scully.
Yes.
Jose Alcaraz. Tim Slick.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. All right, moving on to the application, 138 Elizabeth Avenue, Mr. Seven. And if we could have a quick synopsis of what we were actually asked the applicant to do from the last meeting, I'd appreciate it.
We are requested to really basically redraft the architectural drawings. Mr. Cronin has accomplished that. We've submitted plans, and as I understood, the suggestion was to kind of make it more compatible with kind of a townhome type building. It fit a little bit better in the space, provide for a garage, the interior, which was clearly our choice, but to make that a little bit more comfortable and provide for a space in the front of the house.
And just to clarify a little bit more, Mr. Edinger, this was because it's an undersized lot, that's correct?
It is an undersized lot, it is, and requires some variance relief because of that.
Okay.
So Matthew Cronin would be our first witness, and he's going to explain the architectural renderings that he's prepared. And he has a color rendering also to present to the board when he's finished with his testimony. So, Mr. Cronin, if you could just please.
I remind you, you're still under oath, Mr.
Yeah,
Cronin.
I swear, please raise your right hand. Someone swear, testify that the this matter with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but.
I do.
Please spell your name for us.
Cronin, C-R-O-N-I-N.
Okay, and you already gave us your qualifications, so good to go.
Thank you. Put up 2 of 3, please.
While you're doing that, why don't I get my staff sworn? Please raise your right hand. Someone swear testimony about the giving this matter the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do. Please state your names for the record and your affiliation with the board.
John Miller, board planner.
Doug Jones, board engineer. Thank you.
If you could give us a quick synopsis of what was prior and what changes you've made, Mr. Cronin, just so the board can understand. I don't want you to have to repeat yourself too much, but.
We proposed a 3-bedroom house or a 2-bedroom house with a study with all of the parking in the front yard, an 18-foot parking pad on a 20-foot lot, with a similar sized curb cut so and the front elevation of the house was also kind of severe. It was to full-blown 2.5 stories right at 20 feet. Mr. Valenza will get into the setbacks. Most of the setbacks are similar to what we discussed last time, but we've got on the board here, it's sheet 2 of 3 from our set.
And revised plan?
This is a revised plan.
Architectural?
Yes, it is. It's revision 6 dated 8/18/23.
A4. Maureen, do you have stickers?
I do, and you know what? I don't have one with me at the moment, but I'll mark it up and put a sticker on it.
Just mark that as
Yep.
A4.
Yep.
All right, so
That's today's date.
that's not it.
So right. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so we're proposing a 2.5-story house with a cellar technically. The cellar or basement is 6'6", maximum height, which is rendered non-habitable by every definition I know. We've got stairs down to that, the washer and dryer will be down there. On the, I've never used one of these before. Of course not. No, it's not working on the, you will see.
Remember your ways.
Thank you.
Closer.
There you go. So, you've got some, okay, cool. As you can see, we've got on our first floor plan, the house is set back 20 feet, same as it was. We've reduced the width of the driveway to 12 feet. Again, John will get a little more into that, which is a good width for a single car width, and it leaves a decent amount of green on either side. We've reworked the plan to get an 18-foot garage in the front of the house with an entry porch on the side. We've got a door, I would call it the garbage can door, coming out the side there on into the lot, and then an entry door into the house. If you're parked in the driveway or coming in, you would come in through the front door, through the small foyer. The basement stairs are there. Then we've got our living room, great room. We've got a kitchen in the back left corner that is sized for a small table. Then we've got a closet, which would probably be some combination of pantry, coat closet, and a half bath. Behind that, we've got a door and a couple of steps out to the backyard with our air conditioning condenser back there. You will see that, excuse me, you will see that we've got that existing structure that John mentioned in our backyard, which is the neighbor's house, I believe. And we are 8 feet away from that. And we are 10 feet from the property line, but 8 feet from this structure. When you come up to we've got the stairs coming up to the second floor from the living room. You come up to the second floor to a landing. To the left or rear, we've got a hall bathroom that we've got what I would call the master or primary bedroom with a closet and an ensuite bathroom. Then you go across to the front of the house and we've got a second bedroom with a closet and some storage here. Well, among other things, what we did, you'll see more clearly in the front elevations, is we brought the second floor back 3 feet to soften the front elevation. It does a couple of things. One is it does that. The other was in a lot of the ordinance and in some of the discussion, there was talk of a porch. And with a plot this wide, it's either a porch or garage. So, and we have a photo of the pre-existing house, which had kind of a a converted porch. So our solution, and you will see it when we get to the elevation sheet, is just a 3-foot shed roof across the front to soften the front of the house a little bit, kicking the second floor back to 23 feet. See, this is the photo of the pre-existing house. It was probably 3 feet off the property line, off the front yard. Then from the second floor, at 2.8 it looks like feet.
Oops, sorry.
This is one.
Is that the right one? There we go.
Yeah. So then we've got stairs up to the attic, and we've got a cutback stair to come up to the attic. And I took a better look at the attic part of the ordinance, and I was unfamiliar with it, and I didn't quite grasp it the first time around. And as I continue to work through this, I started thinking of how we could use it to our advantage, to everyone's advantage. So we set the attic back an additional 14 feet, which is the large main mass of the building. You'll see on the elevation sheet. So that again, we are cutting down the street face of the house into 3 steps, keeping the big mass of the house in the center of the house, roughly the center of the property. The attic is overall 21 by, we go by habitable, which is the 7-foot headroom, which would be about 7'4", including where you come up on the stairs. There's some very uninhabitable attic in the front, and there's a very, very shallow roof over the back part of the bedrooms. We go to the next. And then here's the elevations. Here's the front garage door. That's that porch roof we were talking about. The entry porch on the side. The 2 windows from the front bedroom. Little accent window. Our roof over the second floor. And then you see behind it the attic roof, which again is stepped back about 14 feet. On the south or the right side, the porch is open to break up the elevation a little bit. We've got 4 2'8" by 5-foot windows and a basement window. On the rear, we've got a 2-story piece with a low roof on it to allow for an egress window in the back and to keep the mass in the back of the attic and to keep the overall mass of the house down. Bathroom window, kitchen door. And then on the north side of the house, we've got the garage door, the kitchen and living room windows, the stairwell windows lined up here, and then the 2 bedroom windows. And then the rendered elevation is a little clearer to show some of the shadow lines. It's a hand rendered elevation, and it doesn't always translate to digital terribly well. So here is the elevation, and you can see there's a shadow line for the porch. The garage door will have a little bit of, just again, to me, shadow lines make an elevation exciting. So the porch will be set back, the door will be set back significantly, about 12 feet. We're set back with the second floor, and then we set back again with the habitable area of the attic. And that's pretty much the highlights.
Is that a vaulted ceiling in the second bedroom upstairs?
No,
It's good, okay.
no, I hadn't considered it, but probably got into putting it on something.
So just to clarify again, you're saying the attic is habitable? Is that what you're saying?
The center portion of the attic, this area here, it's about 21 feet long. I can give you the actual number of the actual habitable attic area. Thanks. And that's,
The ordinance sees it as a half story. It doesn't matter if it's an attic or not, it's just a half story.
Okay.
so the
So
half,
he's kind of clarifying whether it's habitable or non-habitable. And usually if it's a half story, my understanding it's not habitable, so.
But he's designed part of it to be habitable, so that it's a den, bonus room, bedroom, whatever it can be, because it's meeting the height.
Because of 7
without-
feet.
Right, without going over the limit for the half story on the area.
Okay.
That's how the ordinance restricts it to not being considered a full story. Because if it were 3 stories, then it wouldn't be, he'd be here for height variance.
Right.
right, the
So
half-
he's made a lot of effort to make a habitable space up on that 3rd level while still keeping it a half story. And he's done a really good job with it. I didn't actually check the math. I think it might have a few more feet that it could be larger, but it works. It's
So how much of the space is habitable, would you say that?
habitable by the
7 feet?
Uniform Construction Code definition,
Yeah.
7 feet or higher, I have at 165 square feet.
That's not bad.
So that's 21
nice little room,
by
yeah.
7-ish.
And there's no door, there's no door on that space, it's just
No,
open,
it's just
it's
a
open
wall.
from the staircase,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the privacy comes from the circuitous stair pretty much.
It's a very nice use of space.
Thank you.
I love the additional articulation that you've given the house, you've given it character. I think it looks great. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
I appreciate the efforts you made too. I know it was a little bit of a trying situation the first time around.
I mean, we're all very happy with this as well. It's not like it's a second place thing for us either.
Shadow lines do wonders on a small space.
They really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, yeah.
I applaud your effort to read the ordinance and use it in the proper way, as opposed to trying to find ways around it. You tried to find ways for it to work better for both sides, so I commend you for that.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Great.
I'm glad to see some green space as well.
Yeah, we were kind of happy to get that too. Thank you.
That's it for me.
So, any further questions for the board for Mr. Cronin?
I'm sorry.
You can sit.
I don't know. Okay.
And thank you for lining up those 4 windows on the south side.
Yes, I noticed that. That was
I just want to say thank you for that. Well done.
And I like the use of small windows.
Oh,
There's spaces.
No, yeah.
It's
Well done. Thank you for
Very,
hearing
very.
us and making some
Mhm.
changes, and
So,
very pleased with how this looks.
and I'm glad you took the choice about the porch. Like, that has the opportunity to be a nice little sitting space.
You can actually sit there, yes.
And I know we
It was
haven't
a
heard
great
the
idea.
engineer's testimony yet, but I want to suggest to the board that perhaps we flip the setbacks, like shift the building over a little further, put the fatter side yard setback next to that little open porch. That way they have the benefit of, actually a little yard next to that open part of the porch. Right now, the way the layout is, I believe this is, the side with the porch is the 3-foot side yard setback, and they have 5 feet on the other side. The other thing I wanted to suggest is maybe flipping the floor plan in the back half of the first floor so that that back door goes out, again, to that same side as the open porch, and you have this nice connection through the wide side yard, front to back, where you have this usable space, and that way the backyard doesn't get kind of broken up between the AC condenser and the stairs, and, it's kind of fragmented. It actually will help give them a fuller backyard for the tight space that it is.
Back half of the house. I don't think we would have any problem with that.
I mean, I don't want to,
Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel like this is
I mean, I
up
also
to
like
you
moving
guys
the bathroom
to-
so that it's
I feel like it's up to you guys.
Well,
that if-
I mean, that does make sense, and I went back and forth on it. And I like the idea of walking in and seeing the kitchen. I'm not thrilled with the idea of walking in and seeing a bathroom. But I also, when I design a house, a lot of times I think coming down the stairs, I need my coffee. So you get the kitchen closer to the foot of the stairs.
Well, and so, like,
But what is the, you
I
know,
felt
it's
like
up
if
to
you
the
moved the
applicant too, how does he
bathroom-
wanna live?
yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
we
I
can
don't-
all
I don't
sit
wanna tell
here,
him how to live.
but the applicant has to decide how he wants to live.
I'm just making a suggestion, it doesn't have to be a condition of the board or anything like that. I like having all my plumbing, you know, stacked vertically. I would have moved that bathroom over by the stairs, and then you could have still left the kitchen on that side and put the outside door.
Perhaps we're overstepping our
Yeah.
design.
But yeah,
Yeah,
all
I
I'm
think
suggesting
that I
is
came back
there's a
with a
way
really
to move
nice
the door
idea.
and the AC unit so that you get more backyard.
We appreciate the comments, Donna, but, you know.
No. Again, I'm more of a, if there's a way to increase the backyard utility, maybe just swapping the door and the AC condenser is a way to do that.
Again, I think it's up to the applicant and how they wanna use the space and how they live. I don't think it's up to us to design that for them.
Well,
If you and the applicant are amenable to those changes, Mr. Cronin, that is totally up to you. But it's not our job to design your space for you, so.
I appreciate that, yeah. I mean, at some point, there are a dozen right decisions. And I mean, this. Oh, boy. I had a sketch of that, so it's not alien to me, I just went with this.
We appreciate all the efforts you've already made.
Yes.
So that's the bottom line.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna need to make it a condition so that somebody can see the plan.
I don't-
The flip, if you're not gonna do it, it's up to you. But if you're gonna do it,
I think the only obligation they should have is
Fine.
which side has the fatter side
I
yard.
just won't commit
that's,
to it.
whatever.
Well,
Yeah, as far as the setback,
We'll take a
I-
look at it.
Yeah, I'm good with
I'm
the
cool.
setback,
Yeah.
however.
I'm cool with that as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, all right, I get what you do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have no
one thing we'll
issues.
talk about with the engineers.
I understand we're not designing your plans or anything, but the primary bedroom has a smaller bathroom than the one that is detached from bedroom number 2. So the bathtub is in the bathroom that is detached. It's, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Would it make more sense to have the bathtub on the primary bedroom for the bathroom that is attached to them?
In my
Again, I'm not-
experience, just recent, last couple of years' experience, people are trying to squeeze bathrooms out of houses. They do not want the bathtub in their bathroom that they're gonna take a shower in every day. And it is by no means gonna be a soaking tub. It's gonna be a 28 or 32-inch by 60-inch tub sitting in a corner. So that's one of the reasons why. The other is traditionally, at this point, at least in my experience, the bathtubs are for children and washing babies and stuff like that. That's really
Okay,
it.
I think that's.
Don't forget the dogs.
And dogs also.
Any other questions for Mr. Cronin of the board? Board professionals? Anyone in the public? Seeing none?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cronin.
Thank you.
So our next witness will be Mr. Belitza, Nelson
Okay.
Engineering. And he began some testimony last time, but we stopped pretty much before he got into any real substance.
Okay,
So John's going to just kind of pick it up from the beginning.
sure, that'd be fine.
John, please raise your right hand. Come swear testimony about this matter, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Anybody that rides fence and surfboards is okay.
Thank you.
You're already pre-qualified, so.
Thank you very much.
Do you because of the surfboards or?
Here's a Hanson sticker. Is it a Hanson? Or Jacobson?
Gordon Smith.
Or Gordon Smith, okay. Nice, good board.
Yeah. I still have one left, by the way. Wrong one. So this is our new layout. As you can see from the property like we talked about, the site's dominated by the architecture, by the house. Matthew Cronin has done a beautiful job. Our site plan, I'm gonna go through it, if I could have my notes. I'm gonna go through recapping what I talked about last time. The property is 130 Elizabeth Avenue. Elizabeth Avenue is one way towards the south as you're looking at the map towards the right. It's in the R1 residential district. Now the lot itself, excluding any development on it, it's undersized. It has two variance conditions. One is the lot area, 1,875 square feet with 5,000 is required. The other one is lot width, 50-foot minimum is required, and the lot has 25 square feet. We also talked about previously there was a two-story residence and two concrete walks on the property. Now only the walks remain. The previous residence burned down. That previous residence, based on the survey that we had, the previous survey had a footprint of approximately 860 square feet. That would correspond to approximately 45.8% lot building coverage on the lot. And I would just bring your attention to the fact that with Matthew's house, we have about 39.9% lot coverage. So we're lowering lot coverage, and the previous structure had no off-street parking provided on the property. We here have two spaces. There's a 12-foot wide driveway for one parking space outside of the garage in the front yard.
That's the size of the curb cut as well, Mr. Bellezza?
The curb cut is approximately 14 feet wide. It flares out
Right.
1 or 2 feet on
Okay.
each side. And then the length of the parking spot on the property itself is 20 feet. So we have a 20-foot by 12-foot wide spot with a 14 to 16-foot wide flared concrete apron that connects to the curb of Elizabeth Avenue.
Is there a path to the front door in any?
Yes, if you,
Is this already been marked? This one?
This is a new one, no, it
This
hasn't,
is a new one.
has
So
not
let's,
been.
let's make this A5, please. Thank you.
car can pull up and park. Here is a 3.5-foot wide service walk from the car and 2 steps up into.
So it's not leading to the sidewalk itself?
No, there's no walk. There's no walk to the sidewalk. The driveway connects to
The actual driveway?
Yes. Driveway's wide enough so that if you wanted to walk down to Elizabeth Avenue, you have enough room on either side to walk down the driveway.
Is there currently a sidewalk there in front of the property?
There's curbing and no sidewalk. So that was one of our design waivers, we're required to provide a 4-foot wide sidewalk along the frontage. In lieu of that, along the entire frontage of 25 feet. In lieu of that, we're providing a 14-foot wide, 4-foot deep concrete apron.
Is that a sidewalk to nowhere though? Like, pretty much?
Well,
Does the sidewalk begin and end at the property lines?
the sidewalk,
I mean, it's going to be a little bizarre, isn't it, Donna?
Elizabeth Avenue,
there's,
because all the houses on
Right.
that part of the block face onto Witt.
Right.
The backyards.
So it's a sidewalk to nowhere.
If they put in the
if we
sidewalk,
had put in a
yes.
sidewalk, it would be
Yeah.
a sidewalk to nowhere in both directions.
Yes.
So on your plan, you currently only have it for the driveway? Is that how I'm understanding it?
Correct, you can
Okay.
see it's slightly shaded, and that is a
Okay.
12-foot wide by 20-foot to the property line, another approximately 6 feet into the paved avenue of Elizabeth, paved portion of Elizabeth Avenue.
Is that a little, Donna, I need to understand this, the sidewalk that they're putting in, right?
There's only a, they're only proposing concrete apron for the driveway, and I mean, from an engineering standpoint, I think concrete is better than pavement, and it's just for the turning movement into the driveway itself,
Right.
that it's a little more sturdy. But it's not, I don't think it would look like a sidewalk to nowhere, it would look like a concrete apron for a driveway.
It's gonna look
Right,
like.
because it's not extending the width of the house?
Probably.
Property, sorry.
Right, it's not.
Yeah, so it'll just look like it's the
It'll line up.
So
driveway.
it'll look like part of the driveway?
It'll be centered on the garage door,
Yep,
and then the
yep.
face of the building is approximately 12 feet.
Okay.
And the door would be, I believe, 9 feet. So when the passenger or the driver gets out, he has some walking distance on the pavement. The driver can walk down.
You understand why I'm asking these questions, Mr. Bellezza, because most of our houses have, you know, direct paths from our front door to the sidewalk in front of our homes. So,
Yeah, so what they've done is they've made an extra wide driveway for a one-car garage, a one-car driveway, but it's got a little extra elbow room so that when you get out of the car, you're not standing in the grass.
Right, so it's gonna work as a path theoretically.
Exactly.
But then it's not gonna extend past the driveway apron to look like sidewalks to nowhere.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's only kind of
Okay.
coming down. to
That's
the-
what I needed answered. It ends at the driveway apron. Okay.
Squared off.
okay,
Again, a nice solution for an awkward situation where you don't have too much extra sidewalks, you know, walkways in the front yard. They can use more of the space between the driveway and the property line for yard. And still be able to walk out, you know, down to the street with your garbage cans or whatever, and not be in the grass, not have extra impervious coverage.
Now, due to the size of the lot, you can see the building envelope is completely inside of the dwelling. So if we were to conform to the side, front, and rear yard bulk setback requirements, it would leave us a room for only a very small footprint. So we've increased the size and requesting some variances on the bulk setbacks.
You have, maybe I can lighten your load a bit. You have a classic undersized lot situation. It's the textbook. Okay. And I already sent you out your notices and your letters and so on and so forth. So you can't materialize or manufacture space for this property.
So what we've tried to do is make a livable house. I've tried to make an operational house for a vehicle, a pedestrian entering out of the car into the house. And Matthew went over once again, the architecturals, and that pretty much dominates the site. I designed the site after seeing the house on the property in order to make it as usable as possible for the residents. Now, as the attorney said, in order to justify granting of bulk variances, the applicant submits he has a classic hardship related to the property itself, basically being undersized. The building envelope would only allow for a structure 11 feet by 25 feet I believe it is 16 by approximately 45 feet. We also have provided the documentation on buy-sell letters for the adjacent properties. And therefore, the applicant submits that in this case he's met the C1 standard of hardship for the bulk variances that are requested.
We understand all that, Mr. Valente. Perhaps you could talk about a little bit about the stormwater management that you've involved the house with.
As far as the stormwater management goes, we have proposed a couple of splash blocks, one at the front left corner of the house towards Elizabeth Avenue.
Okay.
One at the back of the porch at the right side of the house towards Elizabeth Avenue as well.
So you've got all the water directed to the actual street?
If I could just,
Even from the back?
The back is relatively flat, and we didn't want to raise the back so that it wouldn't splash any more water onto the properties in the back. So we left it flat, and we gathered all the water, collected all the water from the impervious area of the roof, and we're concentrating them and directing them to the downspouts that discharge towards Elizabeth Avenue.
That's my question. So all the roofs just discharge and are directed to those 2 liters to flow to the front? Okay.
yeah,
Do you have any comments, Doug?
I do. So, I mean, our only main concern, and I get what's going on, the large majority of runoff is going to come from the roof. It's directed to those 2 splash blocks. Our only concern was, since the property appears to be slightly higher than the neighboring properties, water would have a tendency to
Spread out.
go towards them. So we just wanted some clarification on the plans in terms of spot grading to direct the water through a swale out to the right of way. And it's just a simple engineering detailing that can be added.
I worked on that this afternoon, and on each side of the driveway, I designed the swale, the straight grade from the 2 front corners of the house straight to the top of the curb on Elizabeth Avenue. There's a positive gradient, so that all the water coming out of the splash pad have a positive slope towards the top of the curb. And it will go over the curb into Elizabeth Avenue to the closest speed as possible.
We appreciate your efforts, Mr. Valente.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The pathway or the walkway on the side of the driveway, what's that material made out of?
Concrete.
Of the concrete as well?
There's an asphalt driveway. We have proposed an asphalt driveway for the driveway proper. And then on the Elizabeth Avenue side, a concrete apron, 4 feet wide by 14 feet long, and then concrete sidewalk and concrete steps up to the front patio on the front right side.
I have no further questions for Mr. Valente. Anyone else on the board?
No questions.
Board professionals? Thank you. Oh, anyone in the public? Seeing none?
Excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Valente.
You're welcome.
So,
We have no other witnesses. The homeowner is here. If there were any questions you wanted to direct to him, but otherwise we're ready to submit.
do you have any final statements you'd like to make, Mr. Editor?
No, sir, I think that the board understands perfectly what we're doing here and what we've accomplished, so I'll submit for your decision.
Thank you. First, I'll open it up to the public for comment. Seeing none? We'll close public comment. And so we'll go to the board now for deliberation and decision.
Okay, I guess I'm going.
Left to right.
I applaud the effort. I like that you heard us, that you reworked things. I think it's a lovely plan. I'm in favor of it. You did a lot with a little, and I can't wait to see it done.
I echo the same sentiments. I think you've done a really incredible job. giving a lot of character to a very tiny space, and I agree. I can't wait to see it done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll go this way.
I have nothing negative to say. I think it's great. Thank you for all your work.
Thank you. And I echo the sentiments. I think you did a great job.
Yeah, I don't think I can add anything more than has already been said, so thank you.
And being said all that, I will make a motion to approve the application. Is it 138 Elizabeth Avenue?
I'd like to second that.
Wendy Glassman. No.
With
So I just
the
wanted to-
conditions mentioned.
Yeah, with the
Sorry.
Conditions.
You have any?
Are we just gonna reverse the setbacks, or? Leave it
If the
to them
applicant is
to
in
apply
agreement
either way.
and wants that,
Okay, we can
Can we,
condition it so
can we
that
give
they
them the option?
Yes.
Say they won't need to come back before they can choose
As
that
long as they
option?
maintain the setbacks, they can be on either side of the house.
I'm cool with that.
Yes.
And I have no issues with that as well.
Give them the option.
yeah.
We could also give them the option of the interior, but
Well, we don't have.
yeah, give them the option, whatever they want.
How close can we be to have
There's no existing foundation or basement, you're digging.
We're starting.
You're, yeah, so, yeah, give them the option.
One question, and clearly, utility poles can be moved.
Right.
But we're coming dangerously close to a utility pole if we slide it to the north.
Ah,
Right here.
So giving you the option in the
Yeah.
conditions. It's up to you.
Okay.
You think you can move it and you want, and you can, you do.
Okay.
If not, as long as, like Dom said, as long as the setbacks that we proposed, I think 3 and 5, or whatever it was, as long as they're maintained on either side, person, that's your goal.
Thank you.
Okay. That gets you where you want to be.
Okay.
And it's subject to compliance with anything outstanding, if anything, in the insight reports, which is, I'm sure, 99% of them are very extended changes. So that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Jack.
Wendy Glassman.
Yes.
Daniel Harris is absent for this one. Russell Lewis.
Yes.
Jill Potter.
yes.
Tim Slick.
Yes.
Jose Alcaraz. Vice Chair John Scully.
Yes.
And Chairman Christopher Avaloni.
Yes. Congratulations.
Enjoy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congrats.
And I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
Second by Russell.
I'll let you.
All in favor?
Aye.